In the 25th chapter of St. Matthew's Gospel, our Lord tells the story of a man who had money and servants and was planning a trip. It is known as the parable of the talents. Before he went away, he gave one man 5 talents, to another he gave 3 talents, and to the third man he gave 1 talent, and asked them to trade with them until he returned. On his return, the man to whom he had given the 5 talents came and said, "I made 5 more." His master said, "Good and faithful servant." The man who had been given 3 talents did likewise. And the master said to him, "Well done, good and faithful servant." But the one to whom he gave only 1 talent came forward and said, "I buried your talent because I knew you were a hard man." The master said to him, "You wicked and slothful servant." These are harsh words. Wickedness is not a word that is used very often in the New Testament. Sometimes we call people foolish or crazy or even sinful, but seldom do we call anyone wicked. Why did our Lord call this man wicked? He wasn't a thief. He didn't steal the money he had. It was given to him honestly. Neither was he a spendthrift. Like the prodigal boy in the 15th chapter of St. Luke, he could have gone off into a far country with a sizable amount of money that he had and lived foolishly. He didn't. Neither was he a liar. He could have fabricated some story about the money being stolen, how he had made more money, but some thief came and took it all away. No, he wasn't a liar. Then why was he called wicked? Because he did nothing. Our Lord tells the story of Dives and Lazarus. Dives is the rich man, and Lazarus sits at his gate every day, the dogs licking his sores. Dives goes to Hades after death, not because he was rich, not because he was immoral, but because he did nothing about the man at his gate. Our Lord tells the story of the man who was going down from Jerusalem to Jericho and was left half dead by the robbers. The priest went by and did nothing. The Levite went by and did nothing. They were condemned. It was the Samaritan who came and took care of him. My dear friends, the playboys of the world who do nothing are sometimes put forward to be emulated. But in our Lord's thinking, this is not so. It is wicked not to work, wicked not to care, wicked not to love, wicked not to pray, wicked not to listen. And then, my dear friends, we are told that the talent he had was taken away from him and given to others. This seems strange at first, but it really isn't. You know, by doing nothing, we can lose so much. Boswell's Dr. Johnson talked about keeping our friendships in repair. You can lose a friendship by doing nothing. Never write to your friend, never visit your friend, never answer his phone call. You lose the friendship. A man doesn't have to abuse his wife to lose his marriage. He just ignores her. He never pays her a compliment. He never says thank you for the nice things she does. The marriage dies. A man does not have to bring in salacious literature to destroy his children. He can just ignore them, show no interest in their school, in their friends. He loses the children. In New York, every evening on Channel 5, the 10 o'clock news begins. It is 10 o'clock. Do you know where your children are? And then, my dear friends, we find the man condemning himself out of his own mouth. I knew. Here we are, you and I. We know, and we do nothing. We know that our Lord lives in us. He told us so clearly. He wants to share the trivia that make up our waking hours. We never allow him. We know he lives in those around us. He told us that our final exam will be that we have seen, loved, and served him in those around us, or that we have ignored him in our neighbor in whom we live. We know all this. We do nothing about it. Sometimes we say, we don't even have one talent. We have no talent. This is our self-pity and our immaturity. Everyone can smile. Everyone can listen. Everyone can be kind. Everyone can show an interest to those around. We all have a talent to be used for the glory of God on this earth. We have no excuse if we fail to do our duty. And so we ask our Lord to teach us to be generous in loving him, to give and not to count the cost, to fight and not to heed the wound, to toil and not to seek for rest, to labor and to look for no reward except his love. Amen. God bless you.